Where did the name came from? Why is it Splashgirl? There's no girl in it?
No, there's no girl. Well, that's maybe the most common,
that's your idea?
No, it's I would start to say it's the most common question we get.
Yeah,
I guess. So
I was afraid. But I want to know it.
But in a way that that's a good thing about the name, because you will remember. So it has a purpose. But the name is it's an accident maybe from when we started playing together 9-10 years ago. We didn't have we made a joke name, and then we never changed it until it got stuck. And suddenly we had released a record, and then a second record, and
then a third, and then a fourth.
Yeah. And now it's
and it would be not such a good idea to change it now.
Now it's too late.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been up for discussions a few times, but we never managed to find anything.
You can say it's an international name, but if you hear it, you think of another kind of music than you make. Yeah. How did you three meet each other? How did you meet?
We went to school together actually. What's the name? The high school?
High school.
High school.
We went to high school together.
Okay.
Musical high school.
Okay.
We started playing together, but not in this band. In other bands, and I guess we started, like you said, 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're all from the same part of Norway.
And you choose for the form of a piano trio, but the music you play is not so. Can we call it jazz? What would you call it yourself?
I think it has been more like jazz before, but now maybe we're more inspired by other music also, because all three of us play in other bands that work with pop music and rock music and world music even, different things. And then we just allow all these things to enter into Splashgirl also. So that's
and also when it's like thousands of other piano trios in the world.
Yeah.
There's really no point trying to sound like a piano trio, I guess.
Did you ever play the American Songbook, the standards? Or?
It started around that area, maybe.
Yeah, we did in school. When we were studying music, we did that quite a lot. But we very quickly decided to play our own music in this band, because it didn't make any sense for us to try to play standards in this band. So we from the very beginning we always just played our own compositions. That sort of borderline improvised music and composed music. Yeah. That was the idea from the start.
And the pieces you play in a concert, are they strictly composed, or is there some space for improvisation?
There's a mixture. Trying to sort of blur out the edges between what's improvised and what's written. But I guess there's less of an element of improvisation now than some years ago.
Yeah.
So now especially the new album is quite rigid in terms of the composition.
And if you perform and you start with playing a piece, you know where it goes to, or is that?
Both yes and no. Most of the songs that we played tonight, for instance, they have a fixed structure, more or less, and but within that structure, different things can happen. But I think right now, for me at least, the improvisational attitude is more of an attitude than an actual happening.
It's sort of the feeling that anything can happen at any time,
even though it's more or less the same songs every time. Just the idea that you have to be really present and think that anything might change at all times, but we know that it won't drastically. But just to keep that in mind, I think we managed to keep the intensity of the music, even though it's more composed now than it has been before.
Okay. And you just arrived from Istanbul. Is that all right?
Yes.
How was it there?
It was. We were there for a very, very short time. So
10 hours?
yeah, we more or less only saw the
You
airport.
travel around almost the whole of Europe or the whole world? Or where do you play?
Yeah, we have been the last year. We have been to Seattle in the west and Tokyo in the east, and a few places in between.
Yeah.
But we don't. It's not like we travel 200 days a year. So it's every now and then. But this week we are doing 3 concerts, but they are in Belgium, Istanbul, and here in that order. So yeah.
Okay.
So we can't tell you too much about Istanbul.
But
No.
can you say something about the public who comes to the concert? The public tonight, is there a difference between Dutch public and...
Yeah, we talked about this just earlier today. Actually, that the Dutch audience, and it feels like in the Netherlands you have a culture that is to go to concerts at any age. In Norway, it tends more to young people, like around below 35, go to concerts, and then at some point, when people get kids or something, they stop. But like today, it was packed, and
With
the
all
audience was another age than we would expect in Norway, at least. And
Older than in Norway?
Yes.
Yes?
radically,
Yeah.
much older.
And we talked about it. That's I don't know if it is a problem, but that's true about Holland. The public for improvised music and jazz is old in Holland.
Yeah, but I would maybe you would think in Norway as well, jazz is for old people, but they wouldn't go to this kind of jazz concert. They would go to traditional, like you said, American songbook jazz concerts. But when it comes to just go and listen to something that you maybe don't know how it sounds like or what's going on, and just I'm a bit jealous that you have this culture in the Netherlands that you can keep doing that after you're 40, 50. If you do that in Norway, you're more like you're not a part of the mass. You're like you're special. So, and we were the last years when we have played in the Netherlands and Belgium around here. It's been great. Really a pleasure.
Yeah. And can you say something about the scene in Norway? How is the jazz scene? Do you have a lot of gigs there?
We actually don't have that many. We have a few every year, but I think in general we feel a little bit on the outskirts of the jazz scene, sort of. But we've never really made a huge effort to enter it properly either. But you know, we have been invited to play at Molde Jazz Festival this summer and a couple of other of the major jazz festivals in Norway. But it's not the main thing for us to try to enter that sort of sphere. But then again, the country is so small and the jazz scene is so small that people know each other and you get dragged in. But I play in other bands that are much more involved in the jazz scene than this band seem to be. Even though we've been releasing 4 records. But last years we've been more and more invited to go abroad, and then when we get an invitation, it doesn't really matter if it's here or if it's in Norway. We go where people want to get us.
Yeah, and this like northwestern part of Europe is a very nice place to tour. If we don't do this Netherlands, Istanbul and back again business, we just stay around here. It's so many people and clubs and jazz scenes and festivals within another half an hour or 1 hour drive. In Norway, the demographic situation is different, so you have to drive for a day to find that next.
So it's quicker to come here on an airplane than to go to Trondheim.
Yeah. And then you rent a car here and stay in the Netherlands for a week. Yeah, it's great.
And how do you say it? wat zou ik zeggen? Ja, you are in your 30s now, and the kind of music you play is, in the Netherlands we would say it is for an older kind of people. Which artists do you have any musical heroes, and who are they? Or
do you want to go for this one?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're all over the place. It's not. I don't think any of us have. Or I want to talk. I will talk for you too, but I don't think I have one sort of idol.
okay.
It just depends on what I'm listening to at the moment. But there are of course sort of heroes on your own instrument, like people we listened to a lot when I was young, and still do, of course. The ones I always get back to, like Keith Jarrett and Paul Bley, and
Yes.
and of course Norwegian pianists like Christian Waldemar. It's always been very inspiring.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it always changes.
Yeah. And for bass players?
I try not to have any heroes, I must say. Try to avoid that. But in general,
Because you want to do your own thing, or?
Yeah, and I want to be inspired by other kind of musicians. And I think for the last year or two, I've been listening most to Ivan Kang, who is a viola player, and he actually plays on. He's from Seattle, so he played on the last record.
Again, Seattle. The last album was recorded in Seattle. Why there? Why not in Norway?
Because we wanted to work with a producer who lives there.
Yeah.
And he mixed our record called Pressure, which was the one before the Seattle one. And then after mixing that, he invited us to come to the studio where he works there. And then we managed to make it happen, and then we went there for 2 weeks and made the record with him as a technician and producer and mixing. So we were there for 2 weeks, and we recorded the first weeks, and then we mixed the second week, and then we went home with the album in our suitcase.
Well done.
It was some kind of little success in Holland, the album. Is there made any extra promotion here, or how is it possible that especially in Holland there is special interest for your music? It seems to me.
You're probably just very intelligent people, I guess.
Of course.
No, I don't know if our record label, the record label is a Norwegian label, but I don't know if he's doing anything extra in the Netherlands. But
he has distribution, of course, but I don't know. Sometimes he hires a promo agent, but I have no idea.
We have been here before. The previous records has also been released here, and so it might just be hard work, step by step, and then suddenly it kind of get that extra, or you reach a new level. I don't know.
Okay.
We don't have a formula for you, or a
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very much.